another market update. It's April 25th. Do me a favor before I forget, hit that like and subscribe button. All right, so the Discord wanted a market update. Last time we discussed how Bitcoin was just not showing the volume on the high time frame to support the move that it was making. We had this initially what I thought was going to be like a three general pattern. You've got a lot of indecision here, and then you've got this move up, but there just wasn't enough volume, and you can see it just came just a nasty move back down. Now we're right back to where we were in this range, in this area of indecision. Now the issue I have with taking significant positions that aren't scalps is that there's really no indication of which way this is going to go based on the charts. And I'll show you in a different view, but what I'm looking for here is either a reclaim uh, of this lower level, and ideally go straight through that purple area, but a reclaim of this, low to mid 28K level, or a sweep underneath this range to that, mid to low 26s. And then if you get a bounce, then you can get long, or if you don't get a bounce, then you just add back into the shorts. Ultimately, I think we're going lower. There's not a lot of action and there's not a lot of volume in trading that went on between we can actually just go ahead and mark that, because that level will become very important. You can see on the weekly that 25 2 to 3 level was big. We also have these weekly closes, right? So 24-2 and 25-2 are going to be significant for me, and essentially below this wick, there's just not a lot here, right? So I suspect that if 26.5 is lost, it's a pretty quick move to this lower 25K level. So what am I looking for? If you look at the weekly, it starts to make a lot more sense. There's just not a lot of volume traded here. I'd really like to either see a sweep of these lows and then a reclaim of levels. I didn't see the reaction that I wanted at 28K. So to me, there's just no real reason to get long here. Really just going to look to either add to shorts or long from lower if I get the reaction that I want. This weekly naked POC around 24.7 just is, I think that's where we're heading. Obviously from the prior charts, there is going to be support at that 25K level. But I think this is close enough to where you see it push down and then potentially bounce. If it doesn't bounce there, we start trading over here. I think it's going to be back down to that 21K level. So if you look at the Coinalyze chart, you see that we had price kind of hanging here. We had shorts building up. We flushed them and then we dropped. There's not a lot of spot activity going on here, right? We had a pretty consistent spot selling from, let's say November down through March, and then we definitely saw an uptick in buying. And when we really shot up from 20K, there was definitely some buying. I know that we now know that Sailor was buying some spot, but at the end of the day, if you look at where we've been since March, there's not a lot of movement in spot. And so the last market update I talked about, we really need to see that spot start to roll over to get a significant drop, and we're just not getting it. So we're kind of in limbo, and that's okay. Sometimes we want price to move, but that's not how markets work. We have to be patient here and wait for the market to go up or down. We've got some significant earnings. We've got PCE on Friday, FOMC coming up. Not this week, but essentially, there's not a whole lot of trading that I want to do at this level. If we look at what Bitcoin has done since Friday, so we caught we caught this move down, right? We talked about the last update. This structure is weak. It's not supported. It's gonna have to pull back. Even the bullish scenario was for it to pull back. So we got a nice pullback. We took a lot of profit Friday. Now it's just a matter of waiting. This is all chop. It hasn't done anything significant. Nothing has really happened, and so we're waiting. Okay, so yesterday I posted this on the Discord, and essentially these are the scenarios that I'm looking for on Bitcoin. I either want to see price come down below this 26.7, 26.5 level, try to come back up, fail, reject, and I'll add to my shorts, or come down, sweep these levels, reclaim it, long on the reclaim. If I don't get my sweep to the downside, then I'm either going to look to long on a test of a bounce to 28K or low 28s, or I really don't like this scenario, a reclaim of this 29K level and bounce up higher. Uh, I talked about the bullish scenario being a pullback and hard bounce. Uh, I did not see that. There's certainly some aggression, as you can see from this wick down here, but it's just not a lot. It's not something that I feel is very strong. And if you look at open interest, isn't really changing that much. There's not a lot of aggression from either side. And so for now, I think we have to, as I said, we wait.